moral mathematics, and spiritual sambo. In Russia, they decided to raise future soldiers from childhood. Now children will be taught about so-called patriotism and traditional Russian values not only during extracurricular hours but also in every lesson.
The mathematics curriculum for elementary forms stated that the results of its study are achieved in accordance with traditional Russian social, cultural, and spiritual moral values. The manual for the music course states that the key point in drawing up the program is the selection of a repertoire that corresponds to the system of traditional Russian values. From a message in the Telegram channel, we can explain.
In foreign language lessons, children will be instilled with pride in the Russian people, and in social studies they will be taught about serving the fatherland, Russia, the destructiveness of the West, the heroes of the so-called special military operation, the political structure of the country, and Putin supporters. Propaganda will even be introduced into the physical education curriculum. Thus, the manual states, I quote, "While wrestling, pupils should learn to show a sense of pride in their homeland through the importance of sambo and the exploits of sambo wrestlers during military operations."
The curriculum will also include several new subjects aimed at patriotic education. Among them are family studies, in which children will be given attitudes towards family and having many children, the basics of life safety and defense of the homeland, where school children will study types of marching steps, rules for handling weapons, and the classification of toxic substances. From a message in a Telegram channel, we can explain.
State Duma deputies propose introducing the basics of military training from the first grade, and instead of the basics of life safety, they will teach a new subject, fundamentals of security and defense of the homeland. Demobilized Russian occupiers will become teachers. The main problem with Russian propaganda in schools is that today the Kremlin is already raising a new generation with a completely distorted perception of reality, experts assure.
There are studies on what happened in the education system in Nazi Germany. Moreover, there's one study I often refer to, by Columbia University. This is a long-term study. In addition to the fact that they looked at what was happening then, there is evidence in the late 1930s and 1940s that service were done for 50 years. It turned out, unfortunately, that those people who were at a very tender age could not get out of this. Those who were 5, 6, 7 years old could not get out of this for the rest of their lives, and this study ended in the mid-90s. Until the end of their lives they said, yes, but Hitler is such and such, but you won't argue that he's an effective manager, for example, etc. Substitute the necessary.
It is worth noting that patriotic education of children in Russia began to be actively implemented back in 2020, but propaganda has significantly intensified after the full-scale war of the Federation against Ukraine. In school, students are taught about love for the homeland, and in children's camps they are taught so-called patriotism, including drone control. Thus, the Special Forces of the Federal Penitentiary Service previously held a career guidance lesson in the children's camp JAM in the Ulyanovsk region. Children were given helmets, batons, bulletproof vests, and taught how to disperse rallies. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.